everybody, and welcome back to my channel, 23 Flavors of Stitching. My name is Kirsten, and today is going to be a stitch with me, in case you couldn't tell from the setup. I am working on How Much I Love You by Stitchrovia. If you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. I am working on the trio of these that say the "You Are My Sunshine" lyrics. And this is the third one in the series. I have only completed the first one, but this one was called for WIPGO, I believe in April or in March. And with what I'm doing for my May, where I'm picking one project every week that my WIPGO goals have not been met or I haven't stitched on it, and then giving myself a new start on the weekends. The other one has not been called for WIPGO yet, but this one has, and I had not stitched on it at all since starting it. So my starting point for today was to finish crossing some X's on the O, and then finish crossing some X's on the V, as well as just finishing the V. And I did start this video earlier, but then I was interrupted and it took a little bit, well, a lot of time for me to be able to start again. So I just decided to start the video completely over and go from there. So I don't really know what to talk about, and that's why I haven't done a Stitch With Me video in a little while, because I have not had anything to talk about really, and I don't just want to sit here for however long a video would be just in silence. I also know there are people who put music on their Stitch With Me's, so maybe I could do that, but this is my last week before I start my new job, and so this is my last week where I have unlimited stitchy time. I can stitch whenever I want, and so I wanted to make the most of it and film a Stitch With Me, as well as get progress on some projects. I've been trying to think of what project I could take with me to work for my breaks. Obviously I won't be able to take it on my first day, because that's really just orientation and such. but I don't feel like I really have a project that is small enough to take, or like I haven't been printing off a lot of patterns. I don't know. I'm sure I have one. I just need to go through my huge basket of projects. But this year I finished all of my projects that were, well, not all of them, but the ones that have been close to finishes or were my paper patterns or anything like that, I've tried to finish. And I've done a fairly good job at doing that. So I'll have to go through, maybe I'll have to do an extra start of like a Lizzie Kate pattern or something. Or, oh, actually, I could probably take my Happy Camper by the Housewives. It's on my iPad, but I could print it off, and that's small enough that I could take that in with me, and yeah, I think that would work. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So when I'm using DMC, I use the loop start. That's how I was taught. And I still stitch basically the way that I was taught, depending on the project. And I don't know where I was going with that. This morning I was doing my onboarding paperwork for my job. And then yesterday, the 8th, was my dog Max. It was his second gotcha day. He's a rescue. We rescued him when he was very small, still a baby. So we've had him for his whole life, basically, but we aren't exactly sure when his birthday is. So we celebrate the day that we brought him home instead. And so today, since yesterday was Sunday, and I live in Utah, and I go to church on Sundays, and then it's kind of my rest day, and it's a day to be with family. I took Max today to PetSmart to pick out a new toy and a treat, and then we went to Swig, where I get all of my drinks from my dirty sodas. And while we were there, one of the girls that works there, who knows Max from the last time I took the dogs with me to get a drink, she was super excited to see him, and she gave him a pup cup for his gotcha day. And if you don't know what a pup cup is, it's just a cup filled with whipped cream. And he loved it. And then my other dog, Nova, who is the fluffy one that you can see right there, she took Max's new toy. Luckily, I bought 2 of them because I knew that was going to happen. Not 2 of the exact same one, but just 2 new toys. And so they were each able to play with one today. And I'm feeling really tired. Last night, I let the dogs sleep with me because my husband was not here. And they woke me up earlier than I normally let them out. And so that was not fun, so I felt tired most of today. And that's okay, but my eyes are really heavy, I can feel it. And it's 6:30, there's still quite a bit to do today. But right now I'm just trying to besides what I'm doing right now because I'm stitching, but I'm trying to get my house ready for me to be working. And it's not going the best. Because I've been tired, and so all I want to do really is stitch and watch FlossTube and eat and really just hang out. And that's okay sometimes. I have the rest of the week to get my house ready, right? I will say, if you watched my last FlossTube video, is that I said that I was probably going to continue my no-buy of cross-stitch things in the month of May. That has not happened. I haven't been spending an absurd amount or anything, but a couple of videos ago I mentioned that my husband likes Pokemon, but he didn't get into it until the 3rd generation, and I found that epic Pokemon full coverage pattern in the 3rd generation, and I asked him if he wanted me to start that or start the Augusta National pattern in April, and he said the Augusta National pattern because it was Masters Weekend. And so I started that, but I do have the 3rd gen Pokemon pattern downloaded, and I kind of want to start kitting it up. So I made a spreadsheet, not like a real spreadsheet, but I made a list on a spreadsheet of the DMC colors as well as how many stitches are used for each color. That way I can know if I have enough here or if I need to go buy some. And I also bought a 25 count Lugana, I believe, to stitch it on 1/1. So I bought that. I also bought a cone. Bought a couple of cones of some colors that I've had a hard time finding skeins of in Michael's or Joann's, and that are fairly popular colors. So 3371, the really dark brown, and I believe I also did 3799, so the gray. I have a skein of it right here actually because I need to kit it up, put it in a kitted up project that I'm starting on the 21st. Anyway, and in my next floss tube video you'll see some haul. It's not a lot. Besides my clubs, there's only one thing that I bought and then one thing that my husband bought me. And that's because I never end up showing you guys when I buy digital patterns because I just forget about it. But I have purchased some digital patterns as well. Can't help it sometimes, you know? And also, I was good for a month. And there were some patterns that I really wanted and they ended up being on sale on Etsy, and so I bought them. Don't judge the back of my project. I don't think it's too terrible, but I also am not very particular about the backs of my fabric because no one's gonna see it. unless it's right here. Okay, so today I have finished the O, done the V, and the E. And I'd say that's pretty good. I'll probably fill in these, here since I have my Apple Pencil, these spots right here because they're all the same color. But I'm just marking off the darker red. So like I said before, it's about 6:30. I need to decide what to eat for dinner. And if I'm going to make something or if I'm going to go get something or order something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I need to go see what I have in my refrigerator. This color matches the color on my needle minder. Anyway, if you're watching and listening and have the ability to comment, let me know what you were stitching on with me or what you were doing while you were listening to me talk. Sometimes I listen to Stitch With Me videos while I have to do dishes or clean. And sometimes when I'm just driving around in the car. So I'm very impressed that my dogs calmed down today. Enough for me to be able to film this without them making a bunch of noise. Maybe I'll rent a movie on Amazon Prime or something tonight. I don't know. Did it happen? Barely caught it. I am watching playoff hockey and playoff basketball. The Utah Jazz lost to the Mavericks, but we're still watching. I'm gonna use this little bit of thread, I think. And this is one of the times that I use DMC and I don't do a loop start. It doesn't happen very often, but usually if I have like a not really a remnant, but kind of thread, but it's long enough that I can do something with it, then I do something like that. Sometimes I also just like to hear the sound of the floss being pulled through the fabric, so sometimes when I'm not talking, that's what I'm listening to in these videos, anyway, that I make. And that will be it for that length. If you heard that sigh, that was Max. Oh gosh. Yes, I know it would be easier with a threader. I always get paranoid about threaders, and I feel like I don't know how to use them correctly. So I just don't worry about them. Anyway, let's see. I have no idea what to talk about. Oh boy. If you do watch my floss tube videos, I've been saying a lot that I have lost my stitchy bug, or every once in a while on Instagram I've said that I've lost my stitchy bug, but then I end up stitching for a little bit and then I'm like, oh, it's back, and then I lose it almost immediately after I post something like that. And I think one thing that helped curb my spending in April is that I didn't really have a stitchy bug in April. And when you don't want to stitch, sometimes you don't really want to be looking at things either. And so I think that helped me. It was probably to my benefit. I'm just marking off on my pattern that I finished those. And there are little things between the letters that I'll probably do before I move the hoop. So I keep my floss in, depending on how much there is for a project, in these little projects, or in these little bags that are like the ones from Amazon that I use. Well, that are like the bigger ones from Amazon that I use, because these are also from Amazon. But then it's like when I was kitting this up, I put the wrong title, but I knew what it was, and then I put the sticker for the fabric because it was only a 12 by 17 piece, which was exactly what I needed for the pattern. So I put it right here so that I can always remember which, like when I bring it up in a video while I'm stitching it, what fabric it was or is. And then this bag, or this project, is currently in a project bag that I made, and the paper pattern is in here, but so this just hangs out like that. Look at how cute. And since there's only 3 colors in these, it's easy to store them like that. With other, if I have them on rings or anything like that, then usually I don't store them like that. I store them in different ways. Since I've made quite a few project bags, I actually should go through my projects and move some of them over from the plastic bags to the ones that I've made so that I can use them. But I have not done that yet. Maybe I'll do that tonight. That'd be a good thing to do while watching a movie, is switch some projects around. I apologize if that makes anyone sick or something, to watch me flip my project back and forth. We're doing pretty good on time, but I don't know what I'm gonna talk about for the last 10 minutes of the video. Because I know I'm gonna keep stitching, but I also don't know what to talk about at all, so I don't really want to record me not doing anything or me not saying anything. I found a new to me floss tuber that I've been kind of binge watching, skip a few videos here and there, but I started at the beginning. And it's Darren, Dizzy Stitcher. I really like his videos. I like his whole personality. He just seems like a cool person. So if you haven't checked him out, you should go do that. He's a good one to listen to while you're stitching, but also while you're doing other things. I was watching just his floss tube videos, and then I started watching his Stitch With Me videos from the beginning. And then who else have I been watching? I've just been watching my normal people, really. I've been trying to catch up on my Watch Later playlist, because sometimes when I'm not in the mood to watch FlossTube, but I don't want to miss a video, then I just put it on that playlist. Sometimes that playlist gets a little backed up, so I've been working on going through all of those videos. I've also decided that if you don't have anything like planned to say, then sometimes when you get a little too focused on things, it's hard to remember to say anything. But I'm planning on maybe filming a couple of these this week while I have some time, because I really have no idea what I'm gonna do with my week. My dad is here, but he's doing recruiting and things, and my husband is out of town, and so besides like cleaning my house and other just random things that I will have to do throughout the day, and getting ready for my new job, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. There's not a whole bunch that I have to do to get ready for my new job. It's mostly just preparing myself to be back on that kind of a schedule again. So we will see. Okay, and I just want it known, because I'm sure a lot of people look at some of these, especially my first one that I did, and they're probably saying, you don't have a lot of fabric on the sides. These are really skinny if you haven't stitched them before. And the widest piece, or the widest stitch, is on this row of squares right here. So it starts right here. Will I have enough room on this side? I don't know. But I definitely have enough room on this side. I started right in the middle, so I should have enough. I was, still kind of am slightly worried about it on my Happy Skies. So the one that says you make me happy when skies are gray. The color of Picture This Plus fabric that I got was an 8 by 12, I think, piece of fabric, and so it's very very tight margins on that one. And when I realized it, I was like, ooh, dang, really just cutting it close. But I think it was because of the cost of that size of fabric, where it was only gonna end up being like $4 or $5 maybe. And so I was like, yeah. Let's just get that. That'll give me enough room. Barely. Anyway, maybe it's been a while since anyone has seen that project, so maybe I will end this part of this video here, and then in about 2 seconds, I can be back with that project and show you how tight my margins are, because it kind of makes me laugh. Okay, let's finish this real fast. I'll just finish off this length of thread and then I'll go get the other project. I've also decided that sometimes it can be hard to want to work on a project when all you have is like that much of a letter done. Because you can't see it come together when it looks like that. But I'm glad that I made this project a focus piece for this month, because I think that it's going to look really good, and I think that if I keep getting progress like this every day, that or some days of this week, that it will make me excited about it. Because even just stitching on it today and seeing the letters come together a little bit more has made me excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to press pause and go grab my Happy Skies real fast. So basically pulling this out is just making me want to work on it again. Oh, looks like I have some threads to trim off, so that's cool. The last time I worked on this was during my last semester of school, and I took it for finals, and so I probably didn't have scissors. I think I had forgotten scissors that day. So we will end those threads and then, but here we are. So because of where my hoop had to sit, I was really nervous. Because obviously when you're using a hoop and you're trying to get fabric or stitch all the way over here, your hoop is like right here, and so you're like, crap, do I even have enough? And my hoop even, you can see, ripped the serging a little bit, but that's okay. This is the bottom. I think there might be, yeah. So I have a navy blue that is like a shadow on these letters, but besides that, so it's just like one more row below the base of the Y. That's the bottom. And so I think we might be a little close on the top. Oh, you can't even see that. We might be a little close on the top, but the side margins, they're a little close. But anyway. Oh, I'm look at all these half stitches. Maybe I should take this one to work. Anyway, that is all. So, I need to end this thread. So while I do that, I hope that you remember that someone always needs you. And I will see you next time.